8.
Again, nothing from Glenn, nothing from N1SNG. Just pretty quiet there. I think he stepped out. W3PWWK0SF, over.
Okay, Steve, very good. K0SF, W3PWW, still a booming in signal here this morning. Okay, next up is John, VY2WW, then go to K9GAS, and then back to net control. VY2WW, W3PWW in the old military radio net. Yeah, it sounds like a short summer up there, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, Perry's back. Perry up front. Ted, do you want to pick him up first?
Roger that. W3MMR, go ahead.
Okay. Why? Might have been another breaker trying to come in there. Is there anyone else that was called that's trying to get in, like N1SNG or somebody else? I might be able to hear you. Go ahead now.
Calling CQ 75 meters, 3880, WA3 MJY, Whiskey Alpha 3, Mike Juliet Yankee. WA3 MJY on 3880. Hello, CQ 75, calling CQ 75 meter AM, WA3 MJY, Whiskey Alpha.
That was me. That was VY2WW. And Ted, Glenn just made a transmission. I wasn't sure if you copied it. N1SNG is back as well as Perry. So anyway, I think it's still my turn, and then I'll go back to you can pick up whoever else. I'm not sure. There's several people trying to check in. I can hear carriers in there when you're talking, Ted, and they don't realize that you're covering them up. They can't hear you. Anyway, very good. It's a good solid copy on the MMR there, 10 to 15 over. And in SNG, you're 15 to 20 over up here in the PEI. Beautiful copy. And Jerry in Indiana was plus 10 last heard. And Steve, you weren't 20 over like you were at the beginning, but you're still 5 to 10 over up here in PEI, which is amazing. Okay, yeah, the winters are a little longer. I'm from Virginia, so I'm not used to this winter stuff. We have real winter in Virginia. We get sometimes 2-3 feet of snow up in the Appalachians, but we don't have the kind of winter where the snow comes Christmas, sometimes the first week of January, and stays on the ground until the end of March or early April. We don't normally have that in Virginia, but that is the norm here. And the weather is quite a bit cooler, quite a bit colder. The average temperatures are probably 4 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit lower up here in PEI. Still nothing compared to most of Canada. Most of Canada is quite a bit colder. This is a garden spot in comparison. But we do have short summers. The springs just, they don't start. You really don't have spring weather until May, and it lasts until July. And then summer's there for 6 or 7 weeks maybe. And you have a little shoulder season in September if you're lucky, when you can do some things outside and have fun with shorts on. But long about the end of September, you're reaching for sweaters every year. It's been my experience here in the 4 years I've been here. And I think someone asked about the hurricane. I believe that was N1 GTY. Yeah, we sure did. We got the hurricane, but it wasn't much of a hurricane when it hit here, but it did a number on the power systems. Just about everybody in the Maritimes was out of power for at least a day. Here on PEI, there were some people that were out for a full week. I got mine back in about a little over 2 days. So we had to go 2 days on generators and batteries here. That was interesting. But c'est la vie, that's the way it goes. Yeah, but it was a Cat 1 when it hit Halifax, Nova Scotia, and did a little more damage down there. It took down a big crane that was erected next to a building downtown. That was a very dramatic little bit of video footage of that thing falling in the street. Luckily, it didn't land on anything or anybody. Nobody was out there in the middle of the hurricane. But we had, in Halifax, they had 90 to 100 mile per hour winds. And here in PEI, we had 70 to 80 gusts, 70 to 80 miles per hour gusts. So it was a test, and a lot of trees came down because they're full of foliage with summer conditions still going on. So the trees just went over into the lines. But not as bad as Hurricane Juan, which was in 2003. I've read about that one. I wasn't here then, but that one did some real damage, even more. Anyway, very good. Nice to hear everybody in here. The band's still noisy, but it's starting to get a little quieter. And I guess that's it. I did pass it over to N1S and W3PWW, N1S&G rather, Ted. So he got a turn, and you gave it to Perry. So they're back in here, and I didn't hear anybody else. So back to you there, Ted. I just don't have the whole order here. W3PWW, VY2WW.
Okay, John, very good. I hear KK1K in there. Stand by, Dean. VY2WW from W3PWW in the old military radio. That's very good, John. Now, we didn't get any of it here. Maybe a few clouds. I guess that was about it. A little bit of rain, but no hurricane affected us here. We're pretty much inland. Not that we haven't had a few come through here, but this one didn't hit us at all. Okay, next station up is K9GAS, then it goes to KK1K. Then we'll stand by for more check-ins if there are any out there. K9GAS, W3PWW. Go ahead.
Mike Julian.
Okay, Ted, very good. I'll have to, hopefully KK1K will hear me okay. Not sure I heard him too well. Said you may have to do a little bit of relay for me or somebody. Anyway, and I did hear Perry okay, and I think the other one, I didn't hear too well either. I think it was, may have been Glenn if he was back in there, N1SNG. So let's pull up the webmaster. I'm starting to lose conditions a little bit more, so things are changing fairly rapid for me. So I thought I'd just make this my last one and go into listening mode. But I appreciate you guys picking me up there, especially Ted. Pretty good talk with you, but this morning seems like it's a little bit shorter or different. I'm hearing pretty good well. And but I did hear John up there off on the sees what's SDR. My antenna is pretty compromised anyway, so it's low enough and inverted V. It's not a good antenna, but it's not bad. Backyard. Anyway, and all this talk, about the Indian summer prompted me to look it up because I didn't really know where that came from. I heard a little bit in Oklahoma, around the Cherokees and stuff like that, and I know they were kind of offended by that term. I didn't know where it came from, but apparently it goes way back, and in essence, it's all guesses, I guess. There's nothing firm or verified of the actual true meaning, but it does seem to stem from the fact that that was a busy time for most Native Americans. The Indians there, which I think would be common for anybody, because it's after the heat, before the winter, and it's a perfect time of the year to do a lot of activity, whether it's harvesting or fixing tents or huts or wherever. So it became kind of known that was one explanation that sort of most of from around the country, even in Britain, got that term from back in that time, the 18th century. A whole lot of nothing information, but I thought I'd pass that on. If you had looked in it before, kind of interesting. Anyway, Ted, thanks again, but I'll send it over here to K1KK, and the name is Jerry, K9 going after strikes, and I'm real close to Indianapolis, Indiana. So K1KK, over to you. Say my 73s and all this, and it's K9GAS in the old military radio net.
Kilo. Handle here is Dean Dog Easy Alpha Nan. We're located on the west coast of New England. We're located on the west coast of New England in the state of Vermont. And we're copying you very, very nicely this morning, so I'm sorry copy isn't better out there. Good morning, Ted. Copied you a little bit on the bedside radio and came down here in the shack just a few minutes ago. Got a cup of coffee, and really I heard John, VY2WW, up there with his hurricane report, and really haven't heard anyone besides John and Jerry and yourself, but the three of you are good Q5 copy here. Running the T3 this morning as always, and listening on the R390A. It's breezy here. I didn't look at the temperature, but I can hear it's raining outside a little bit. But we've had a very nice week here. And I heard you mentioning about the hurricane, and we were down in South Carolina and North Carolina, but far inland when the hurricane was coming up the coast. And then we came back almost at that exact time. About a week ago, we were heading back up here to Vermont. And our biggest concern wasn't so much the weather as it was people that were evacuating the coast. But as the alert for the storm went away, we didn't see any traffic there either. So we survived that hurricane nicely. Looking forward to heading out for Gilbert activities here in a few weeks, Ted. I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to see you down there. I'm not sure what your plans are for attending the MRCA event down at Gilbert. So let me turn it back to you. W3PWW with the Milrad net. This is Kilowatt, 1 kilowatt.
KK1K, W3PWW, very good, Dean. Good copy on you. Copy on K0SF and VY2WW, K9GAS, copying them quite well also still. But maybe things are turning around. Let's hope. And okay on the running into the evacuation people there, Dean. I guess that was, I would suspect, quite a large amount of traffic. Yeah, we didn't get anything here. Just a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, and some clouds, and that was about it. But don't think the rain was even associated with that. However, we did see a couple days after it supposedly passed nearby on the coast, we did see a rather strange amount of clouds. It must have been part of the outer band of the storm. They were more like in a semicircular appearance of the clouds that were directly overhead and actually to the west of us here. So that is unusual cloud formations, and I suspect that was a part of the outer band of the hurricane. Okay, this is W3TWW with the old military radio net. Anyone else out there for the net, please call now. Okay, I hear you, Glenn, and hear JUJ. KA1JUJ is in there, and N1SNG. Anyone else, over?
K3HVG on frequency.
Yeah, I got N1SNG. Anyone else?
K3HVG is trying to check into.
I need some relays on some of those stations, guys. I'm just not hearing them.
K0, trying with me.
And K3HVG as well. Relay to Ted.
I heard some other stations trying to check in, but I can't pull them out of the noise here.
Ted, I hear K0JJ. I think he's checking into this net. And a number of stations have relayed that the Jeep is on frequency. Over.
Okay, K0KK. I did not hear him. Okay, I have KK1K, KA1JUJ, and K0KK. Anyone else, over?
N1SNG.
Okay, Glenn, I got you like third down here, so you'll be back up in your original position. So right now,
Yeah, Ted is transmitting.
W3MMR, N1SNG, K0SF, VY2WW, KK1K, WA1JUJ, and K0KK. So we'll go back up to the top. It'll be N1GTY. Ernie, go ahead and pass it to W3MMR.
Correction, Ted.
Go ahead.
It's K0JJ, I believe. K0 Juliet, not Kilo.
K0 JJ, is that it?
K0JJ, I'm not K0KK. Okay, thanks, Ted.
Okay. On the N1GTY, go ahead.
W3TWW, military radio net, N1GTY. Good morning to everybody. Quite a few new check-ins here. Glenn, I heard you this time. Last time you got in there. So good morning to you, and let's see, good morning to Dean. I heard JEJ and HCG and AJ. So anyway, I guess I'm hearing most everybody now. Pretty rough going there for a while, wasn't it, Chad? Anyway, and yeah, John, very good on the hurricane there. I saw that crane when it collapsed on the news. Boy, just lucky nobody got hurt out of that one. Wow. But it was quite a sight. Just happened to, I guess they just happened to get it on some surveillance camera or something, and saw it when it came down. But, pretty lucky on that one. They've had a lot of cranes collapse this last year, and some of them didn't end well. But, I don't know. Anyway, starting to get daylight here. Ted, you're pretty light here right now, and the closer in stations are coming up quite nicely here. And for you guys that don't know, I'm on the ART-13 this morning. Finally, again, I lost my power supply here a while back, and it came up. We got it going again, so hopefully she holds together for a while. And Glenn, I wondered, did I hear something about you losing your power supply or something a while back? Might comment on that. Anyway, this will be my last transmission. I got to get the day started here, and I'm going to listen out to the end of the round, and I'll be out of here. So, hope everybody has a great day and a good week, and hopefully catch you next weekend. So, there you go. Perry, over to you. W3MMR. If you're copying, this is N1GTY. Go ahead.
Yeah, N1GTY on the old military radio net. W3MMR. All right, Ernie. Well, take care, man. Have a great weekend. Coming in right above the noise here in Chester, Pennsylvania. But I have a notoriously high noise level of about S9 to 10 over 9 here. Living pretty much in the city. Very urban where I'm at. I guess you could say it's right on the verge of being urban and right on the edge of being suburban. So lots of noise sources here to contend with on the bands, unfortunately. The band hasn't quite shortened up yet, so I'm utilizing the web SDR of Steve's WA1QIX. His web SDR and Mike's K3FEF's web SDR, so I'm able to copy everyone, bouncing back and forth between the two. Good morning to you, Glenn. Came up, actually, that go-around. I could hear you at the QTH about 10 over, so 15 over, so good morning to you, Glenn. And John, glad you didn't have too much of the hurricane up there. Down here, we just got a little bit of, rain, more like a mist. It's like an all-day mist. We got a little breezy, but we're about, I'd say, an hour from the shore here, from the ocean. So, good 50, 60 miles from the ocean. So we're a little ways away. So. And I know some of the guys I know that live down at the shore, they got a little wind, beach erosion, but it wasn't nothing. Obviously, the Carolinas. My son lives in Charleston, and they had some pretty high gusts, 70, 80 mile an hour gusts down that way. But luckily, no damage, just some power outages, which are come to be expected. But nevertheless, they fared fairly well down in Charleston. All right, and 73 to you, Jerry. Real good copy here at the QTH, almost 20 over. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again next week. It'll sound great here. Chester, good morning to you, Dean. You always have probably the biggest signal here, Dean. Met everybody, 25 over this morning. Sounded real good as always. And good morning to WA1JUJ. Good morning to you, Jeep. Was trying to check in, Ted. I don't know if you were able to get the couple relays there, but Jeep was trying to check in a few times. And good morning to K0 Juliet. Anyway, we'll keep things moving around here. I think I pass it to you, Glenn. Up to you. Here it comes. N1SNG in the old military radio net. W3MMR.
W3 3 MMR from N1SNG. Well, good morning, Perry. And for living in the tight quarters there in the residential area, you got a very nice signal this morning, very, very strong, near full quieting. So SDR assistance there and what have you. It's doing a beautiful job this morning there. Nice to hear your signals. And of course, just in the past half hour, things have turned around very nicely here as far as the signals coming in. And a very good morning to Ernie, N1GTY on the ART-13. And yes, I had an issue with the grid block cap on the 813, and that's a forget how many microfarads that is there, but picofarads. But it's kind of an ugly duckling capacitor, brown mica, which is a very high rate. I think the working voltage is 4,500. The test voltage is 7,500. I just used the last one, so we'll see if that can take me the distance here. And if not, we'll have to maybe put together some bathtub capacitors or something to get that rolling. And VY2WW John, yeah, sorry for the missed call there. I thought it was K9GAS because you both had at the time probably the strongest signals at this location. And very good morning to Dean. It's been quite some time, and sounds like everything is going well up in the west coast of New England, Vermont. And you just knocked down signal this morning. You keyed in, and I thought the lights went out. Just full quieting. A standard to be judged by your signal this morning. So, yeah, very, very high marks. Nice to hear you in here this morning, Dean. And I didn't hear Kevin in there. I think it was K1JUJ. Good morning to you, Kevin. K3HVG Jeep had a nice strong signal here. I don't think Ted was maybe Ted was a little close in, or vice versa. But in any case, good morning to you, Jeep. It sounds like Gilbert's coming up on the itinerary there, so that should be interesting, and also looking forward to any mobile ops that may come about there on the ascend and descend into Gilbert there. So again, here running ART-13, which has been running about 100 watts here. I did bring the output down a little bit on it. I think I was pushing it a little bit too hard here. I think it was, around 130, 150 watts. So I might have been overcooking the coffee here. So we'll try it at the new setting, and hopefully 100 watts will be sufficient enough. Not too much going on here. Jeep project. I've been just playing around with some of the smaller parts. The painting, the major painting event. Hopefully that'll take place in a few weeks. And I've been busy at work and so on, and just enjoying the weather here. We missed the hurricane, tropical storm, tropical depression. It seems like the New England coast here, with the high pressure waves coming through and the jet stream, has a tendency to steer a lot of those storms, or just keep them offshore. So I mean, like Ted was saying there, the somewhat of an artist rendering of the clouds. We also had that here. And it was kind of interesting to watch that display without all the ingredients that go along with it. So with that, we're going to send it over to John. And John, thanks for taking the wheel here this morning. VY2WW from N1SNG, over. Check in.
Okay, was there a break?
Whiskey 3 Echo Mike Delta. Whiskey 3 Echo Mike Delta. Checking in.
Sorry, I couldn't make it out. Ted, did you get those check-ins? Okay, I don't know. Oh, I didn't hear. I didn't get the call sign. Ted will be taking a call up here in a second. I'm going to have to make this my last one. I've got a couple errands I need to run early this morning. Nice to hear you there, Glenn. Big signal in here, 1520 over, and all the signals are holding up quite well all the way out to Indiana. And even Steve is always copyable his last transmission. But anyway, good to hear everybody. I will say my 73s for now, and we'll try to catch you guys next week. And I'm going to try to send it back to Net Control, and if he's not hearing me, somebody else can relay over to Ted. W3 Papa Whiskey Whiskey. This is VY2WW. I'll be signing out for now.
Okay, John. VY2WW, W3PWW in the old military radio net. Okay, continuing on, we have KK1K, WA1JUJ. The K0 station, I'm not sure. I believe they said it was Juliet. I'm not sure of that, but we'll stand by for him. K3HVG and W2EMD, Echo Mike Delta. So I guess the next station up is Dean, KK1K. KK1K, go ahead.
Very fine, Ted. W3PWW in the Milradnet KK1K. Okay, very good. Well, copying everyone well this morning. Just all the way around. Good morning, Ernie. Nice signal from up in Maine. And John up in PEI doing fine in here as well. I mentioned the temperature here, 59 degrees, so it's not as, it was a little cooler yesterday morning, but it's raining here. It looks like it's going to be kind of a cloudy and an inclement day. Ted, I don't know how many more rounds you're going to have here, so I will thank you for calling the net. By the way, last Sunday evening, I got a note from Chris that he was not going to be able to handle the evening CW net, and I jumped on, and Tom, W1ILA, John, W4HWT, and myself, the three of us, held the fort on the CW net Sunday evening, and conditions were pretty good. So we missed you, but we held the fort for you. So let me turn it down to WA1JUJ. Nice signal up here this morning from Western Mass, and we'll be hanging around for the duration. This is KK1K.
KK1K from WA1JUJ. Okay, fine, good signal to Western Mass. Dave here is Kevin from CRC-19 at about 120 watts out of the drink W4 watt meter. Won't hold it too long. I'm fighting a bad cold and sore throat here, so my voice is not what it should be. I'm hearing everybody pretty good this morning. I think Perry, MMR, you're the loudest here, a good 40 over 9 into Western Mass. So I'm going to send it down to K0JJ. I believe that's who it goes to, Ted. So if he doesn't do anything, you can jump in there. K0JJ from WA1JUJ.
Go ahead. Nothing heard here. I guess next station up is Jeep, K3HVG. Then it goes to W1 Echo Mike Delta, or W2 Echo Mike Delta. K3HVG, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeep.
Oh, okay. I heard Ted barely in there, thanks to the relay. K3HVG and the old military radio net. Ryan the commercial gear. I'm just now beginning to hear, folks. I did hear the station up in Nova Scotia, VY2WW at KK1K. Dean, you were loud and clear. Kevin, good signal. So I guess propagation for Central Maryland here is just now coming to life. So nothing great to report for good or for bad. Beginning to start on the second SX25 receiver. We'll see how that works out. The first one did not. It's now a parts rig, so we'll see how the second one works out. Hope springs eternal. So I have no idea who it turn it to. Perhaps Ted is hearing me now. W3PWW and the old military radio net. K3HVG. Ted, over.
Yeah, K3HVG, W3PWW. Your signal's starting to come up, Jeep. At least I can hear you now. So, going to try to make another round at least. Next station up, W2EN Echo Mike Delta, W2EMD. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey 3 Echo Mike Delta, 123. Whiskey 3 Echo Mike Delta, good morning. This is the second time I've checked into the net. I did last week. My name is Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, Buzz like a buzzsaw, and I am near the town of Rhinebeck, New York, like the River Rhine in Germany, B-E-C-K, Rhinebeck, 100 miles north of New York City up the Hudson River, and running a Dynamotor-powered ART-13, courtesy, the rig courtesy of Jeep, K3HVG. And so far working okay. I'm new to this radio, but having a great deal of fun with it. Uses a 28-volt supply and 29 farads of capacity to start the dynamotor. I'm receiving also on a government military radio, but 1980s vintage. You can't call it an old military radio. A Collins 851 S1. And my antenna is a 600-foot loop. And it's really amazing how the propagation has changed. At 6:15, I could not hear you at all, Ted, not even a peep under the noise. And I guess as soon as the sun hits the top of the ionosphere, things really change because now your signal is really quite strong. And well, many dB over 9. W3PWW, W3EMD. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. W3EMD, W3PWW. Sorry about the call. And I got the location okay there. And the ART-13 sounds great. It really does. I can hear a little bit of the dynamotor in the background, but hey, that's all part of it. So a very nice signal from that station there. Okay, anyone else out there for the old military radio net, please call now.
This is KK4 on my side of what you're seeing over there as far.
On frequency, anyone else, over?
Hey, Chris was in Mobile.
Say again?
AJ1G was on frequency, AJ1G, also Marty, KK4RF.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah, I got KK4RF. What was the Mobile station again?
AJ1G.
Mobile station, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Here on the new mobile setup here, the ICOM IC7100. Beautiful day up here.
in the 50s, and we got a nice fast current in the breachway, very juicy water, stripers. I tried to check in earlier, Ted. Propagation was very poor from the pump station. Tried to check in before I left. I just got here and getting ready to start fishing. W3CWW, the old military radio net, AJ1G Mobile on Quantum Beach Breachway.
Okay, didn't get much of that. Got a few words. But thanks for checking in. Okay, I have KK4RF. Anyone else, over?
Whiskey 9, Alpha Delta. KW1I.
Okay, got KW1I. Anyone else, over?
W3CTC.
Okay, got WB3CTC. Anyone else?
I think a W9 Alpha tried to check in, but I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't think I heard him. W9 AA. I'll put him on the list. Anyone else, over? Okay, I have KK4RF, KW1I, WB3CTC, and W9 Alpha. Anyone else for the net, please call now. Okay, we'll pick up KK4RF, and we'll go to KW1I, then WB3CTC and W9AA. Then we're going to go back up to the top and try to make at least one complete round here before we close. KK4RF, W3PWW and net. Go ahead there, Marty.
Hey, good morning, Ted. Thanks for picking me up. W3PWW and the old military radio net. This is KK4RF. I haven't been on the air much at all this summer. Been doing a lot of yard work, and I just recently picked up an old Viking Ranger that I'm renovating right now, and also recently picked up an old T19 Arc 5 transmitter that I'm starting to work on that also. So we got a bunch of projects here. So anyway, my name here is Marty, short for Martin, and we're located in Suffolk, Virginia, and we're running an old LMAC, A54H through a Heathkit SC201 Linear, getting about 100 miles of carrier. To run down here, nothing military on this end this morning. Ted, you've got a great signal now, but I've been listening for about almost an hour and a half and haven't heard too many stations. But I want to say good morning to everybody on the net who can hear me. So, let's see here. I'll send it up to Dale. I heard Dale pretty well, and I heard Dean also. Excellent signal from Dean. So go over to Dale, KW1I with Old Military Radio Net, KK4RF.
KK4RF and the Military Radio Net. This is KW1I. Good morning, Marty. Haven't heard you in a while. Good signal this morning on the amplified LMAC. And good morning to you, Ted, and the net. I heard just a few stations, and Dean was not that loud just a minute ago, so the band is not really clarified here. We're using the Meisner 150B, and it's overcast this morning, about 46 degrees, and we're anticipating going to the MRCA meet in actually just over a week. We'll be heading down on Monday and then spend some time at the cabin at the High Point State Park and get a lot of radio play done, and then we'll be rolling in on Thursday for setup and then Friday and Saturday, what is that, the 27th and 28th. So look forward to seeing many of the stations, even on frequency today, at the MRCA meet. And I believe, Ted, it was W9. I know Dave was in there, W9AD, so that might be the station that is coming up in a couple, W9AD. Good morning to you, Dave. So over to Mike, and hopefully your signals come up a little bit. The band is squared away. Normally you pound in at this time, Mike, but that hasn't happened yet. WB3CTC. This is KW1I. Good morning. Over to you.
Okay, Dale. Thanks. Copy good here. KW1I and the old military radio net, WB3CTC. Now, propagation's about the same as it's been for the past few weeks. It turns on here like a light. Just like somebody flipped the switch in the wall, and then I can start hearing stuff. Well, whatever. I guess it's that time of the solar cycle or something. But for people that don't know names, here's Mike. QTH is Lancaster, PA, and the Briggs an ART-13 and a BC-348. And like I said, it turned on here about 20 minutes ago. Ted turned on and I could start hearing things. So hope it stays this way for a while. W9LA, Whiskey 9 Alpha Alpha, and the old military radio net, WB3CTC.
Okay, Mike, thanks. Whiskey 9 Alpha Delta, W9AD. Alpha Delta, good to hear you. Mike, you're doing fine. I think Ted's got the winner signal into me, but Dale, I heard you good. I'm hearing everybody, though. Dave, W9AD, Barrington Hills, Illinois, near Chicago. Just thought we'd check in and say hi. On the old military radio net with newfangled stuff here. This is a non-8000 DLE Henry 8K, which is, it's not new, but it's not very old. That's it. High towers pointed out to the east. Good to hear everybody. Hopefully everybody made it through Friday the 13th with the full moon yesterday. Good to hear everyone there. Back to PWW10 in the old military and radio net, W9AD, Barrington Hills, Illinois.
Okay, W9AD. Sorry about messing up your call there. W9AD, W3PWW. Nice signal. Beautiful signal into the southern PA this morning. Yeah, we've had some really strange conditions on again this morning. I was talking to Ernie up there, and I guess he's in Maine for most part of the morning, I guess, and he was in here good and solid. Only a couple of the stations that we could hear. We did contact a station in California, KD6TKX, but actually, I guess I only exchanged calls back and forth. I did not hear him that well. And then he went down into the noise also. That was early on this morning. Okay. Let's try to make a round. We'll go back up to the top of the N1GTY if you're still in here. W3MMR, N1SNG, K0SF. I think I missed him last time. VY2WW, JK1K, WA1JUJ, K3HBG, W3EMB, KK4F, KW1I, WB3CTC, and W9AD. N1GTY. Ronnie, if you're still here, go ahead. N1GTY, go ahead.
K4JCC.
Okay, I'm not hearing Ernie, so I'm going to pick up K4JCP before we lose him. K4JCP, go ahead. Yeah, okay, K4JCP, W3PWW. Yeah, I thought I'd better pick you up while I could. Thanks for checking in this morning. Good to hear from you. I haven't heard you quite a while. Just in bad conditions. Next up, W3MMR. W3MMR. Go ahead, Perry.
All right, Ted. W3PWW in the old military radio, and that W3MMR. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the new check-ins. Excuse me. We got quite a list here. So I'll make it short, sweet, and this will be my last transmission. Gonna start getting ready to hit the old salt mine this morning. I'm gonna enjoy my day off tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the South Jersey ARRL convention and Hamfest in Mullica Hill, New Jersey tomorrow. Should be fun. I go every year. It's one Hamfest I do go to every single year. I've been trying to make more Hamfests, but when work allows, but work hasn't allowed too many this year, so I'm definitely looking forward to it tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, I forgot today. You know, when you get older, your birthday becomes less significant. I forgot today was my birthday. So I'm going to try to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I'll put it this way. I'll be throwing my own little birthday party at the Hamfest. That'll be my birthday party. But anyway, good morning to everyone. Good morning to all the new check-ins. Everybody's really starting to come up now that the sun's starting to peak. Up over the horizon a little bit. Everybody's 15 to 20 over here on the Anon 200D this morning. Just on the SDR because it's easy. The DX100's over there sitting idle. I was on it last night and for a while. Figured I'd give her a break today and just key up the old SDR this morning. But anyway, we're going to say 73 to everyone. I hope everyone has a great weekend. It's always a pleasure coming in here Saturday mornings and hearing everybody on their great military rigs. One day we'll get ourselves one. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe at the Hamfest, we'll find one. I'm on the lookout for an ART-13, so we'll keep our eyes peeled tomorrow. Everyone have a great weekend. And Ted, thank you as always for doing the net. You always do a great job, and your dedication is great to see. Take care, fellas, and I'll turn it over to you, Glenn. Here it comes, N1SNG in the old military radio. That's 73, guys, from W3MMR.
Yeah, thanks, Perry. Go ahead, Glenn. N1SNG, go ahead.
Don't hear it.
No, nothing here. Okay, I think it goes to K0SF if he's still in here. K0SF, go ahead.
Okay, Ted. Yeah, we're hearing quite a few here. Wolfwood SIGs returning. Dean, K41K. Very strong. Kevin, Cody, W1JUJ, Buzz, W3MD was strong. So, yeah, good conditions. All right, we'll sign, though. We're starting to lose you and some local activity now up on down 5. So we'll sign. That's a great net. 73, have a good weekend. W3PWWM, K0SF.
Yeah, 7-3. Thanks for checking in this morning. Next up is John, BY2WW. Go ahead.
W1EKG.
BY2WW, if you're still here, go ahead.
No joy.
No, nothing here. KK1K, go ahead, and then it goes to WA1JUJ.
Okay, very fine. Ted and all on the net, good morning. Good morning to those that have come in just toward the end of things here. K4JCP, a lot of noise, but could copy in there fairly well. And Dave, nice signal from the Chicago area. Marty, nice to hear you. Haven't heard you in a while. And look forward to seeing you and your brother down to Orlando maybe this year at the Hamfest. So, Ted, thanks for calling the net this morning. And we'll look forward to hearing you tomorrow evening on the CW net. So, over to you, Kevin. Nice signal from the GRC-19 this morning. WO and Dale, very, very strong signal in here this morning. Glenn, also good copy. WA1JUJ, this is KK1K. Go ahead, Kevin.
KK1K from WA1JUJ. Okay, Mike, Dean, good signal at the Western Mass. I'll say good morning to Jeep, good signal here. Buzz was a little bit rough. Marty hitting K4RF, good signal. And I could just barely copy Chris on Mobile. Right above the noise, I could hear him copy most of it, but it was right in the noise level. I'll say good morning to Dale, to Mike, and Dave out in Illinois. Pretty good signal at the Western Mass here. So I would hold this morning, and I'll try and pass it to K0JJ. Again, not sure if he's there or not. K0JJ from WA1JUJ.
Yeah, I don't think he was in here anyway. I never heard him. Let's see, next up is K3HVG. Then it goes to W3EMD, KK4RF, KW1I, WV3CTC, and W9AD. Jeep, down to you, K3HVG, W3PWW. You should be hearing me now.
Oh yeah, Ted, you're quite strong. I shifted rigs. I'm on the ARC 25 now, and hopefully Buzz is still with us. This is the ART-13 that sat next to the one that you got from me, Buzz. So we are tracking ART-13 to ART-13. These ARC 25 receivers. AR-15s actually, with the Q driver works well. So that's the deal. I got a meeting at 8 o'clock, and fielding traffic every day for the XYL. She's down in Brazil for a couple, 3 weeks. So that's the deal here from central Maryland. We're showing 67 degrees on the indoor-outdoor. Buzz, up to you. W3EMD and the old military radio net. K3HVG, go ahead.
Thank you, Jeep. K3HVG, W3EMD on the net. Very nice to meet everybody. My second time in the net, thanks to this ART-13 and the help from Jeep and just getting to know people. What amazes me is the change in the propagation. As I said, I couldn't hear W3PWW at all, and that was about 20 dB over 9. So so I guess that's to be expected. Jeep, if you're going to be around after the net, I've got a brief couple of questions for you, as you might expect. 73, good morning to all. KK4RF to get it. This is W3EMD.
Yeah, thanks, Buzz. W3EMD and the old military radio net. This is KK4RF. Buzz, your ART-13 sounds really good, and I've heard quite a few ART-13s this morning. I know Ernie, N1GTY, was running one. Jeep, yours, K3HBG, your ART-13 sounds excellent here. You've got a huge signal. So, but anyway, Dean, your T368 sounds good. And I know Glenn, N1SNG, was running an ART-13 earlier, but he's no longer on the air. But good morning to Joe, K4JCP, pretty good signal. John up at Nova Scotia, or nothing under VY2WW, he had a great signal about an hour ago. So, and Perry had a good signal. And Dale also good signal. So good morning to Mike on his ART-13. That sounded really good. And W9AD had an excellent signal. So not much else to report. Ted, thanks for running the net. You've got a great signal now also. Thursday 73s, and hopefully I'll be on the net again next week, and hopefully we'll be on more regularly. 73s all the way around, and over to KW1I and the old military radio net. This is KK4RF.
W1EKG.
Stand by.
Okay, we're W1EKG, and Ted heard you in there. This is KW1I. KK4RF, great. Good. Your signal continues to be good, and other stations have come up, and congratulations on all the ART-13s we have on this morning. I heard Ernie's, and of course Glenn's, and well, there's several on this morning. I didn't log them all in, but it's great. We have a couple here, and Ted, maybe we should have another ART-13 morning if they keep coming out of the woodwork, and see how many we could get on frequency. I think we had up to 20 or something, or near 20 one time, maybe in the teens. But I'll keep it short. Thanks, Ted, for running the net. Dean, you're very strong. Came up great. And also, Mike, your signal when I turned it over to you last time was back to normal rock crushing up here on the ART-13. So down to you, Mike. This is KW1I.
When was the Gilbert show?
Repeat Ted, over.
When is Gilbert?
Oh, Gilbert is on, you usually come up on Saturday now, so that's the 28th. Saturday on the 28th, Ted, over.
Roger that.
Go ahead, Mike, WD3CTC, this is KW1I.
WD3CTC, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, that was a good one, because that was my question, too. Did he say the 28th over?
Roger that.
Okay, the 28th. I guess we'll see you over here the 28th then.
Roger.
Okie doke. Yeah, okay, everybody. Boy, it's propagation is really good right now. Boy, it just I can't get over how it just like somebody turned a switch on every week. It's about the same. I do a lot of AM broadcast listening, and the propagation on there is really, really weird. Really weird. And I don't know what's going on. So I hope to catch everybody next week, and have a good one. W9 Alpha Delta and the old military radio net. This is WB3CTC 73, everybody.
All right, CTC Mike, W9AD, and the old military radio network and network. And Dean, good to hear you. Everybody's coming in fine. Thank you for some fine business signal reports. Like I said, the Anon 8000 DLE, Indian-made, not the Pocahontas type of Indian, Indian. I think he's making stuff for the Indian military over there, but the only other military radio that I had a long time ago, which I no longer, was an ATD Bendix aircraft radio that did fine business on the broadcast bands with pirate radio, plate modulated by a Fender Bassman. So don't have it anymore, but that was it worked. So that's it. Good to hear everybody on the radio. Back over to you, Ted. And somebody else, I think somebody else checked in. PWW in the old military radio net, W9AD listening out.
Okay, very good. W9AD, W3PWW. Yeah, the ATD. I remember that. I haven't heard one of them on the air for quite some number of years. Yep, still remember what they look like. Seen quite a few of them actually, but for some time I think they were sold new in the box from someplace. I remember way back. I know that was a big deal. People were rushing to get them, but never heard too many of them on the air. Okay, enough of that. Next up is W1EKG. W1EKG, go ahead.
In the box, Ted.
Yeah, go ahead. W1EKG, go ahead.
W1EKG, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Ted, and everybody else on net. W1EKG here, 20 miles south of Boston, Massachusetts, running a T368. Fan conditions here are really, really noisy for some reason. We have a local interference that's a loud buzz that's getting into everybody's signal, so it's difficult to hear. The strong ones are coming right through, but I thought I'd run this instead of the AIT-13 this morning. This is the T368, and I probably should have fired up the AIT-13 to be in accordance with everybody else. I'm going to send it back to net control because I know it's getting late. This is W1EKG. Everybody have a great day. 7-3.
Okay, 7-3. Thanks for checking in. Okay, that's the end of the list here, guys. This will be the last call for your military radio net. Anybody left, please call now. Nothing heard here. We'll say 73 all around. Thanks, Herb, for checking in this morning. Great net. And we'll see some of you in the CW net tomorrow night. W3PWW, closing the old military radio net. And we'll be QRT. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Ted.
K3HVG, W3EMD.
Yeah, boys, W3EMD, K3HVG, go ahead.